Hello everyone, how are you doing? My name is Ashok and welcome to another series on Advanced Python for Data Science. This series is specially focused on the professionals who are working in data science but not from development background. So they don't do a complex programming stuff, but a basic Python and a normal control flow and import packages, functions, and use them. So the goal of this series is to give them a bit more about Python, about other functions, other concepts in Python, which can be very helpful in programming things more efficiently. Not just programming more efficiently, it also helps them to read the source code or the other packages who might be using a more advanced Python concepts. All right, so let's get started. The first topic is classes in Python. So let's talk about what is a class. But if you're working in data science, you would have probably using pandas framework or package more often. Let me do import pandas as PD, and I'm going to define a quick data frame. I'm going to say PD data frame, and then let me define so name and the age. So only two things I'm going to take. So let's say Krish 35. Okay. Great. And I'm going to say columns is equal to name and age. So I just defined a static data frame and stored that output in a variable df, and this is actually called as object. Object is a physical form of data frame, which is a class, and the class itself is object of the class. It's like a template. Okay. So what exactly is a class? Well, it contains multiple functions, variables, and functionalities in one bundle. So it's like a bundle. It's like a template where you have all of these things bundled together. So when you press df and press a tab in your Jupyter, you'll see a lot of for example, shape. All right. So what is shape? You probably know it. If you're working in data science, it gives you number of rows and number of columns. It's a tuple as an output. So it's an immutable object. So it says 2 by 2, which means I have two rows and two columns. It's actually rows and columns. So this shape is an attribute of a class data frame. Likewise, we have, let's say, head function. So it basically gives you the top 5 records. We only have 2 records, so 2 records are showing up here. So head is a function within the class and which is being transferred to your object. And object can actually call that function, which gives you the top 5 records. If you want to look at what exactly is the class, if you want to look at the source code of it, you could simply Google for that. So I'm going to say pandas data frame and say GitHub. So GitHub is a repository where all of your packages have code. So this is your data frame. You click it and it takes to the source code of your data frame class. So this is the source code of your data frame class. It's quite big, as you can see. You can scroll down to the bottom. It's quite big, a lot of number of lines. So somewhere in this, you will find a data frame class definition, a class definition. Oh, here it is. You see that? So that's a class data frame, and it is taking an ND frame, n-dimensional frame. N-dimensional frame could be anything. So we have just given a list, and it converted that into a data frame constructor. So inside this, all of the functions and attributes you're using should be present in the class. For example, let's say shape. You just use a shape. So if you go down, you should be seeing the shape. It's a pretty big function, so I might have to go down further and further. It's rather easy to search. Okay, I think I have properties here. Okay, shape. So shape, this is a function shape, and it returns a tuple. As you can see, integer is the output. And what it does, it basically counts so these are all information on it. So you have a documentation: return a tuple presenting the dimensionality of the data frame, and it has some information, some examples. And then ultimately it is just doing this stuff. What it is doing, it's returning the length of your self, which is nothing but the object we are passing in, index, which gives you the number of rows, and then length of the self and columns, which gives you the number of columns. Literally, what it is doing is it is doing this. If you say length of df dot index, so you get 2. And let me add one more, because 2 is 2 and 2. We'll say 3, and it's a 30. All right, I have three records. So when you look at the index, so 3 records, and then length of your df columns. So you'll be getting 2 columns. So this is exactly what the tuple is returning. Look at here. So this is what is being defined in your shape function. So what's the benefit? Well, we just have one class called data frame as a bunch of functions, attributes, properties all bundled in one. Well, that's very clean and tidy. So that's the whole point of the class. Also, if you see this is the exact same. If you look at the shape help by pressing shift and tab in your Jupyter, you see that some string helping information like returns a tuple representing. So this is nothing but the same stuff which you see over, which is control tab. Oh, okay, I'm in edit mode. Okay, so which you see in here. So the same thing is being repeated. All right, so that's the purpose of class. And of course you can define your own class, but that's the whole point of this session. So the way you define a class is by using a class keyword. So I'm going to define a new class, defining a new class. Okay. So say class, that's a keyword. So when you type class, it turns into a green color bold. So it shows that it's a keyword of Python. And say person. So that's a class I'm defining. Okay. And not taking arguments. So person, and you notice that I put a capital P over here. That's a convention to be followed. Typically classes have a capital letters, capital alphabet to begin with. And there's a special function in it. We call it as doner function. It's double underscore function. Doner is double underscore. And we will talk about this doner functions, but for now, take it as it's the one which the first function which automatically runs when you create an object of the class. So what is creating an object? When we say pd.dataframe and just pass an information, it creates an object which has been stored in your df. So when you create this object, this function automatically runs. It's a kind of like auto start. All right. Typically, what we put in this function are we initialize variables. Let's say I'm going to have, there's a default argument which is self. We'll talk about the self as well shortly. And self is nothing but the class itself, the object of the class itself. Person. So I'm going to say name and age and what else? Age can be taken. So it's a name and gender and let's say date of birth, for example, DOB. That's good enough. Okay. So that's what I'm going to take it as a initial thing. So self name. So when it says self name, so it is going to assign this argument coming from the class into a variable which is inside your class. Okay, that's it. So that's it. I have defined a very simple class, has nothing inside except an initializer, which is an init function, and then I defined a class. Right. So I'm going to say John or Mr. J or John is equal to, so I'm going to say person. So I'm creating a object of this class. So person is a class, and I'm going to say the name. So I'm going to say John Kennedy, or simply K, and the gender is male, and date of birth is 1950, for example. I'll just give an year. Okay, I'm not taking date here, but let's say year of birth. Just for easiness, because I don't. Okay, year of birth is 1950. So when I run this, you see that a John has been created, and the John is an object. If you type in type of John, it's actually from a main person. Person is a class, okay, and it's an object. And John dot name will give you John K, which is the name you have assigned, right? And we say, let's say John dot gender. Oh, sorry. That's a value assigned over there. So which actually the male is being passed on here. The male comes to this gender variable, and it's assigned to self gender. So when you say John, that actually becomes self inside. So John dot gender gives you male. And this is the basics of your classes. We could also define, let's say, data like age. Okay, so I'm going to define another function called as age, just age. All right, and then I'm going to say current year. So you pass on current year, and I will simply subtract the current year, and I'll return the age. I'll say return current year minus our DOB, which is actually stored in your year of birth, sorry, self. Okay, so this is another function being defined. Now when I say, I'm going to just reinitiate this one. Okay, when I say John age, and I pass on like this year is 2020, so it's going to tell me there were two arguments required. Okay, oh sorry, so I have to pass on self here, so otherwise. Okay, so I have to pass on the object itself, so that, and now it's going to say that, okay, the age of John is 70. And how it is calculated? Age is a function inside the class. So when you create an object of the class, automatically age becomes a function of this object, and this age takes current year and self. Self is automatically passed, which is nothing but the John object itself, and then year is given over here. So from the self, I have taken year of birth, which is actually given over here. So that becomes like, okay, if you look at the John YOB, so that's your 1950 is coming internally. And then I have passed explicitly 2020. So 2020 minus 1950 gives you 70 years. All right. So that's a basic of your classes. In the further sessions, we will expand a lot of things, inheritance, and how do you actually define more magic functions. These are called as Dunner function. So Dunner is double underscore, or also called as magic methods. There are several magic methods. We'll discuss important magic methods and other functionalities around the class. All right. So hope this is helpful. If you have any clarifications, doubts, please leave it on the comment. I'll do my best to reply them. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe and click notification. I'll see you in the next video.